Alright, we're back at the Emiya residence. I never thought I would make it back alive, so I relax once I get into the living room. I feel a bit dizzy and lean against the wall.
ほら見なさい。やっぱりまともに立ってられないじゃない、バカ。
She's right, but I think her last comment was unnecessary. How many times did she call me baka today? I bet she set a new record already.
ほら、こっちに来なさい。とりあえず包帯ぐらい変えないとまずいでしょ。
I nod and move by Tosaka.
この救急箱を使っていいんでしょ。さすが家に道場があるだけのことはあるわね。ハサミばっかりか、針と糸が入ってる救急箱ってのも珍しいわ。って、ほら早く服を脱いで傷を見せなさいってば。
服脱ぐのか。いや、その前に手当てぐらい自分でできる。今朝だって自分でやったんだから問題ない。
あのね、何遠慮してるか知らないけど、そもそもその傷の手当てをしたのは誰だと思ってるの？
けどあの時はその。
I was unconscious, and I was only causing trouble for Tosaka at that time.
あの時もこの時もないの。いいから早くしなさい。四郎の傷は特別なんだから、ちゃんと見ないと治るものも治らなくなるじゃない。
How unfair. I can't complain if she tells me with a face like that.
それじゃ頼んだ。正直に言うと、さっきからやけに熱くなってる。
I give up and sit down. Seeing that the shirt is stained with blood, Tosaka gives up taking it off and starts cutting it right away. She then quickly but carefully takes off the bandages. Oh, my shirt. Is it that bad? Tosaka gasps when she sees it. But I'm troubled as well. It's so embarrassing having her stare at my body so closely.
無茶するんだから。せっかく治りかけてたのがまた開いてるわよ。まったく、こんなの見せられたら怒るに怒れないじゃない。
She talks like that, but gently touches the wound. Ow. Crap, I'm getting dizzy for a different reason. I was able to stay calm even if she was near me, but my heart's beating fast now, and I'm having trouble determining where to look. I criticize myself mentally, but it does no good. The temperature inside my head will keep increasing as long as we're like this.
その、もういいだろ。血止めをして可能止め塗って包帯を巻き直してくれればいいから。
You know, what's that trope about, you know, like I don't know, like treating people, you know, being like treating people medically, being strangely intimate in like in media. I guess we're invoking that right now.
そういうのは手当てって言わない。宣言撤回、やっぱり頭にきた。そんな気休めで外に出たわけね、あんたは。
Or well, I don't know. Actually, I think it's been like several times Shiro has been in this situation. You know, he gets himself injured, and then the waifu takes care of him. You know, always happens. Like shonen anime, actually. You know, a lot of anime that's very like fighting based, like combat based. Always seems to be the case. Slapping sound. What was that for? Tosaka just slapped me on my wound.
何の恨みがあるんだ、お前。
恨みなら骨髄まで染み渡ってるっていうの。それでも手加減してあげたんだから感謝しなさい。
Saying so, Tosaka takes out something that looks like ointment.
今の痛かったでしょ。とりあえず壊死してる神経を治したからしばらくは痛むわよ。これには痛み止めも含まれてるけど、もともと破損した肉の代わりだから。馴染むまでは痛むけど、痛みがあるうちは無茶しちゃダメだからね。
She takes a jelly-like substance and applies it to my wound. It looks really suspicious, but Tosaka is seriously treating my wound.
はい、 これで終わり。あとは包帯を巻いてぐっすり寝れば明日には幾分楽になってるはずよ。
She skillfully wraps the bandages around the wound. I'm not praising her or anything, but she does a much better job than I do.
サンキュー、トサカ。なんか楽になった。
I thank her while averting my gaze.
まあそれならいいけど、楽になったって言うんなら見た甲斐があったわ。
ああ、治らないものと覚悟してたから余計助かった。ともかく手当てをしてくれてありがとう。
そんなの当たり前でしょ。私が見る以上はきっかり直してみせるんだから。
Again, somehow, I don't know, somehow like the situation always turns intimate for some reason. Like treating, the persons that got beat up, treating their wounds, and the other person taking care of them. I don't know. Finishing the treatment, Tosaka gets up. Then, I don't know why, but she heads to the kitchen.
トサカ？
Am I seeing things? She's checking what's inside the refrigerator and the rice cooker.
おい、何をするつもりなんだ？
夕ご飯の支度。シロ食べてないでしょ。私も食べてないのよ。だからとりあえず夕食。
ああ、それは見ればわかる。けど、どうしてこの状況で夕飯なんだ？
Well, we gotta eat, Shiro. Unless you wanna get takeout.
なんでって当然じゃない。人間空腹でまともな案が浮かぶわけないでしょ。
Tosaka speaks while staring inside the refrigerator. The sound of our utensils echoes inside the room. It's past 10 o'clock. I don't know how it ended up like this, but Tosaka and I are eating a late dinner together. By the way, the dinner was made by both of us. Just add that side note. Tosaka wanted to eat Japanese food, but she didn't even know how to make miso soup. It really makes me wonder what they're teaching in the cooking class at school. Probably not much. I mean, if I remember correctly, all we really learned in like home economics, from my experience, was like how to cook like pancakes and scrambled eggs. That's pretty much it, at least for food. I mean, you learn like sewing and other like miscellaneous stuff, but I don't know. Well, we don't really learn all that much at school in regards to like cooking or like pretty important skills actually that you should learn. We don't learn that much about that in school. At least my school anyway. Tosaka is concentrating on her meal. She must be hungry, as her plate is almost empty. But I don't have much of an appetite right now. It's partly because this isn't the time to be eating, but more so because I haven't replied to Tosaka.
シロはここで降りなさい。
I haven't told her my reply to those words.
トサカ、話がある。
I put my chopsticks down and stare at Tosaka.
何？
あれから考えたんだ。俺がこの戦いを始めた理由を。一体何がしたかったのかってこと。
それで？
She's like casually just eating. She urges me to go on as she sips on this miso soup. She's putting my spirit down, but I try to get myself together. I'm trying to be serious, Red.
初めは巻き込まれたからだった。そしてマスターになった以上はこの戦いをどうにかしたかった。けどマスターになったとか巻き込まれたとかそんなのは関係がない。俺は正義の味方が好きなんだ。だからみんなを守らないと。マスターなんてどうでもいい。マスターでなくなってもセイバーがいなくなっても。
I say so, ready for Tosaka's rebuttal. But
そう。
she makes an absent-minded response and finishes her rice.
あのな、トサカ。人が真面目に話してるんだからちゃんと。
聞いてるわよ。シロは一人でも戦うのよね。死ぬような目に遭うより死ぬような目に遭ってしまう人がいるっていう事実が耐えられない。 だからどんなに自分が弱くても戦うことに決めたんでしょ。
She looks straight at me. It's as if she sees through the part of me that I don't even know about. And most of all, she approves that I'm fighting.
そうだけど。
It's as if she just knows. She just knows everything about you.
何よその顔。リスが砂糖菓子舐めたような顔して。
A squirrel that has licked sugar. Is that a saying? Because I don't think I've ever heard of that. And what does a squirrel look like when it's licked sugar? I have no idea.
いや、だって、遠坂は反対するかと思ってた。
してるわよ、もちろん。けど、あれだけ見事に助けられたんだから、シローに文句なんて言えないでしょ。それにさ、どんなに止めたって、あんたはそういうやつなんだって分かっちゃったし。
Tosaka averts her gaze a bit. I don't know why, but
じゃあ遠坂、これからも協力体制ってことでいいんだな。
まあね、仕方ないから付き合ってあげる。だいたいあんたみたいなのを一人にしてたら不安で眠れないし、それに。
she takes a huge breath. After getting ready for some reason,
シロー風に言えば、私もシローのこと嫌いじゃないし。
look at that custom spray for handing the bowl. It's like, I guess that's her reply of her confession, Shiro's confession. I like you. And Rin's like, I don't hate you. that's her response.
私はそういうわけだし、そっちだって一緒にいても問題ないでしょ、実際。
She hands me the bowl. How long did it take me to realize that she's asking for seconds?
ああ、もちろん。遠坂がどんなに横暴でも望むところだ。
I don't care how much of a tyrant you are. I take the bowl, fill it from the rice cooker, and hand it back to her.
いいけど、お腹減ってるし、ご飯美味しいし。
Tosaka starts eating the heap of rice. I smile. But I'm smiling as I eat. But I can't help it. I'm so happy right now, so let me smile like a fool for a while. Well, now we're drinking tea after
つ
dinner.
まり東映には東映なりの限度ってものがあるわけ。一見イメージを形にするっていう何でもありに見えるけど、東映にはいろいろと独自のルールがある。その制約の中で一番わかりやすいのは投影物の損傷、存在における強度ってやつよ。
Tosaka puts up a finger as she drinks her tea.
存在における強度。何？幻想なるものの存在に耐えられない軽さってやつ？
I sip the tea and tilt my head in wonder.
何も知らないようでいてつまんない言葉知ってるのね、あなた。けどまあ当たらずとも遠からずかな。投影は自己のイメージからそれに沿った本物を完璧に複製する。これに例外はないわ。自分の中で完璧でなければ投影はできない。新作の影である以上、一部の隙も許されないのが投影魔術よ。だから基本的に投影によって生み出されたものは自己のイメージ通りの強度を持つわ。
Okay, we're just learning
という点においてはこの時点で完璧なのよ。
theory about Shiro's projection magic again.
加えて投影する術者のイメージ、知識が本物に近ければ近いほど現実においても完璧になるわけ。
Again, echoing Archer's words, just imagine something that will defeat the enemy. That's how Emi Shiro will fight.
ちょっと待った。それはおかしい。俺、アーチャーの剣を投影しただろ？けど、それはクズキに壊された。いくらクズキの拳にキャスターの強化がかかってるからって宝具を壊せるほどじゃない。ってことは俺が投影したアーチャーの干渉と爆矢はオリジナルに数段劣るってことじゃないのか。
はい、いいところに気がつきました、エミヤくん。それが投影の限界。 存在における強度ってやつよ。いい？投影はあくまで投影、想像じゃない。投影を作り上げるのは術者のイメージだけだから、イメージそのものにほころびが生じた時、本物と同じ性能であろうと無産するの。
イメージにほころびが生じる？それも変じゃないか。イメージが間違っていたらそもそも投影はできないんだろう？
ええ、だからほころびが生じるのは投影した後になるわ。そうね、例えばシローが絶対に折れない名剣を投影したとするでしょ。
I nod. Tosuka nods in satisfaction.
けど絶対に折れない剣なんてものはない。その剣の表現方法、伝承、売り文句などに絶対に折れないというパーソナリティがあるだけで、実際はそれを上回る幻想にぶつかれば刃こぼれぐらいするし、折れることだってある。
それ、折れた時点で俺のイメージが間違っていたってことにならないか。俺は折れない剣を作ったんだから。
ならない。投影が成功した時点で形の上での間違いはないんだし、そもそも折れない剣なんて名前みたいなものでしょ。
Okay, this is like
実際に折れない剣なんてないんだから。
slightly confusing, but I guess I don't know. I guess Rin is just saying that you can summon a sword that's been called unbreakable, but you can't summon a sword that's literally unbreakable because a sword just has to break. You know, there's never not a sword that can not break, or I don't know.
けどシロ、あなたがイメージしたものは絶対に折れない剣よね。これが現実で折れちゃった場合、投影されたものは嘘になるのよ。それは剣が折れたからじゃないわ。あなたがイメージしたものは折れない剣。それが折れてしまった時点で、シロの中の折れない剣と今折れてしまった剣は別物になる。
Okay.
あなたと現実、その計りが崩れてしまうから。
Question mark? That's me right now. So if I sum it up,
つまり俺は折れない剣を想像して投影した。けど実際に投影した剣は戦闘中に折れてしまった。その時点で俺自身がその剣を、なんだよ実際は折れちまうじゃないかこの剣と否定してしまって、結果として投影したものは消えるってことか。
okay, I think I get it a little. As in, like, the moment the sword breaks, Shiro is like, you know, this can't be, and therefore the projected sword disappears completely. But then you have to realize, like, I don't know, if the sword breaks already, then what's the point of keeping the sword around? You know, unless you want to reproject it, maybe?
そのイメージの齟齬によって。
冴えてるじゃない。ええ、つまりはそういうこと。あなたはあーちゃんの剣を投影した。あなたの中であれがどんな位置づけだったかは知らないけど、シロ自身はクズキの攻撃で壊れるような剣をイメージしてはいなかった。けど実際に剣は破壊されてしまった。その時点であなたはその剣をこんなのはあーちゃんの剣じゃないと思ってしまったのよ。
So I guess consistency with your imagination and the reality is very important if you want to keep the swords in your hands, I guess.
で、作り上げられた投影は術者の否定によって存在強度を失い、元の空想に戻ったってわけ。
I don't know. It's like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like a equivalent metaphor, maybe equivalent example. It's hard though, as it turns out imagining stuff is pretty hard. I don't know. It's like, I don't know, trying to like project like glasses. Trying to project some glasses that zoom in, you know? Or not zoom in, okay, that's a bad example. What about, well, let's say, I don't know. I don't know why, I'm trying to think of an example. Okay, I'm trying to think of an example that makes more sense to me instead of swords, because we don't At least in my life, I don't see like swords every day. But what about something that I see every day? Let's see. How about this watch? Like I have this watch in front of me. You know, if for example, if I had projection magic, I could project an identical watch. But as soon as the watch tells the wrong time, or at least, I don't know. As soon as I see the time and it's wrong compared to another watch, then the watch I projected will simply disappear because then I think that watch is wrong. I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm making it more complicated than necessary, actually. Whatever. I see. Even projected weapons can break. I mean, I guess the idea is that you have to, I guess, make weapons that I don't know how, because it's like if they can break, then they break. It doesn't really matter if they disappear or not. I assume if you try to project a weapon that can break, and then it does break, and then you look at it, and it's like, yeah, this makes sense. Then what you got is a broken sword is still in your hands, but it's still broken, so it doesn't matter if it breaks or not, or if it disappears or not. I don't know. But it's not the enemy, but you, who make them disappear from this world. I guess. I mean, I guess that's the point. Whether or not the weapon breaks or not doesn't really matter. It's just that whether or not it disappears, whether or not like it dematerializes, depends on your consistency with reality and your imagination. Once you think, even for a split second, that it doesn't make sense, then it'll just disappear. I guess, is what they're trying to say. When the difference between the reality and the image becomes too large to be reconciled, the projected weapon disappears. It is because the one who projected the weapon stops believing in the image.
わかった？だから投影魔術はまず設計図から入るの。あとは材質と性質、歴史なんかも考慮すべきね。そのあたりから固めていけば、多少現実でイメージと違ってもすぐに消えるなんてことはないでしょ？
So it has to be identical to real life to have, I guess, good projection?
それならなぜそれを作る気になったのかってのが最初じゃないか？材料と技法だけじゃダメだ。今日の夕飯だってまず遠坂が和風が食べたいって言ったから始まっただろ？なら創作する上での発端から始めないと。
Oh, Tosaka's stunned. Oh, did I say something, or did Shiro say something that actually threw Tosaka off? Tosaka stares at me. I drink tea and tilt my head in wonder.
なんでこんな話になったんだっけ？
そういえばそうよね。私たち確か今後の作戦を話し合ってたような。
Oh yeah, we were talking about what our course of action should be.
シロ、本格的に投影魔術をやってみない？
When Tosaka derailed the conversation.
思い出した。不確定な要素に希望を持っちゃうぐらい行き詰まってたんだっけ？
まあそうだな。第一、俺の投影なんて剣を作れる程度だ。それも今まで役に立ったことなんてないんだから大した戦力にならないだろう。
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Well, I was thinking like projection magic would sound pretty cool if Shiro can like use it for other things, not just swords. You can just imagine like, hey, I need to call someone, and then he projects a cell phone, and he can just use it to call someone, right? That'd be great. Be very useful in that sense for day-to-day life. But oh well. She's looking at me with those eyes again. I wonder why. She always makes that face when we talk about projection magic. Squinting at you.
もう一度状況を確認しましょう。目下のところ、敵はキャスター。あいつだけなら大したことはないけど、白兵戦に長けたマスターと、あっち側についたアーチャーに守られている限り手は出せないわ。
Alright, let's move on from the magic theory that it's very convoluted. I can't really wrap my head around too much. and talk about our strategy against Caster, Kuzuki, and Archer.
加えてセイバーが操られるのも時間の問題。
And Saber.
状況は刻一刻と悪くなっていくわけだけど。
ああ、けど、アーチャーはともかく、セイバーはまだキャスターの自由にはなっていない。それが正気といえば正気だろう。セイバーが完全にキャスターの軍門に下ったら、それこそ俺たちに勝ち目はない。
I can't let that happen. She told me to run. She told me as she cried. So for Saber's sake, I can't let Caster do as she wishes.
そういうことね。それじゃあ意見のある人は挙手。シロ、なんかいいアイデアある？
An idea that will break the current deadlock. If there's a way to oppose Caster, it is... Huh? Do something? There's a decision. What do we do? I don't have any plans. Let's just fight them head on. Ah, no. We can't fight them head on. Is there a secret passage? We sneak in, sneak in, and then save Saber somehow? Or we can't do this by ourselves. We can cooperate with all the masters. What other masters are there? Well, thinking Lancer's master. We know who Lancer's master is, right? In the Fate route? I don't know if it's a different master, but it was Kirei, right? I don't know if Kirei... again, it's kind of ambiguous whether or not he's alive or not. Rin seems to think he still is. We don't see his corpse, so maybe he's still around. Assassin's on Caster's side, so no to that. Who else, actually? We can look at the status right here, right? So, Saber out of the picture. Well, Master Emyoshiro, I don't think that's the case anymore. Lancer, maybe. We have to find his master, though, which I think is Kirei, or... I don't know, they also mentioned another master in the Fate route. Who was Lancer's master? We don't know. Archer, he's already betrayed us. Ryder's dead. Caster's our enemy. Assassin is on Caster's side. And there's Berserker. I guess we can ask Iliasville? We can ask Iliasville or Lancer's master to help us out. Those are really only the two people we can ask to help. But, well, I mean, if we can, like, get Lancer and Berserker to work together, then maybe we have a chance. I don't know. Otherwise, I mean, two of these options, well, I don't know. And the second option might work out. We can sneak in, maybe, grab Saber. I don't know if that would work, though. We're not like, you know, we're not like spies or anything. Secret spies? Ninjas? I don't know about that. We also fight them head on. That was a horrible idea. In fact, it's like, I don't know what to do. Let's just fight them. Huh. I wonder how Rin would react if we say that, actually, so let's just do that. I don't know.
こうなったら小細工なしで真っ向から勝負するだけだ。
I stare at Tosca straight in the face.
で、一応聞いておくけど、それ本気？
This is intense. Tosca isn't stunned, but really angry, because this is a horrible idea.
勢いで口にした。考えなしで面目ない。
ええ、本当にね。一瞬、今からでも手を切るべきか、本気で悩んだじゃない、バカ。
はいはい、どうせバカですよ。けど、そういう遠坂はどうなんだよ。なんか打開策とかあんのか？
まあ、そりゃ一つぐらいはあるけど、言っていいの？
なんだよ、珍しく弱気じゃないか。考えがあるなら言えばいいだろ。遠坂の意見ならちゃんと聞くぞ、俺。そりゃ納得いかなかったら反対するけど。
それなら言うけど、私だけじゃキャスターに勝てないのは明白でしょ。だからこっちも戦力を増やすの。あっちはサーバントを3体も保有しているんだから、こっちも1人はサーバントがいないと話にならない。
戦力を増やすって、じゃあ他のマスターに助けを求めるのか？
Yeah, I guess that was the third option.
助けじゃなくて共闘よ。キャスターがあそこまで強くなった以上、他のマスターも黙っていられないでしょ。聖杯が欲しいのなら、 一番強い相手を協力して倒して、その後でピンに戻ればいい。こういうのバトルロイヤルの定石でしょ。
Battle Royale. Well, actually, that reminds me. There's a post actually I saw apparently on Twitter. There's like a category of mentions, I guess. I don't know. That's how it works in Twitter. Like how like certain tags are mentioned or whatever on Twitter in 2018. Apparently, Fate Grand Order, has more mentions than Fortnite, supposedly. So, at least on Twitter, people mention Fate Grand Order more than Fortnite, and that's pretty amazing considering how popular Fortnite is, funnily enough. So as it turns out, the original Battle Royale reigns supreme. So we'll make an alliance with the remaining masters since Caster's so strong now, huh?
なるほど。交渉次第で協力関係は作れるかもな。
Use the power of diplomacy.
となると。
ええ、残るマスターは2人。ランサーのマスターとバーサーカーのマスターね。ランサーのマスターは不明のままだから交渉のしようもないけど、バーサーカーのマスターであるイリアスフィールなら可能性はあるかもしれない。
I guess they don't know who Lancer's master is, so the only one we really know is Ilya, right? Ilya's Veal? Berserker's master. And technically in this route, we only really met them at the very beginning, you know? We really didn't have much contact with them the rest of the route. The white girl and the statue-like giant I met on the night when it all began. She sounded dangerous, but I don't think she's cruel. I don't know about that, Miyashiro. She's pretty cruel in some couple bad ends.
そうだな。あの子なら話し合いに応じてくれそうだ。見返りに無茶な条件も出してきそうにないし。
I think she'll just smash your face in, Shiro.
バカ。シローにとっちゃあいつが一番ヤバいのよ。あいつ、初めっからシローしか見てなかったもの。私はともかく、あんたはどんな目に遭わされるか分かったもんじゃないわよ。
なんだよそれ。俺はあの子と一度しか会ってないんだ。そんなことになるわけないだろう。脅かしっこなしだぞ、お父さん。
You know, yeah, technically you only met her once, but in the other rounds we met her many times, and she likes to murder us.
そんなことになったら交渉なんて破棄に決まってるじゃない、バカ。
Then, Tosuka averts her gaze and gulps down her tea.
けど、今はイリアスフィールにかけるしかないわね。キャスターの正体がアーチャーの言う通りなら、間違いなくバーサーカーは天敵だし、何しろ生前の知り合いだもの。キャスターの手口なんて知り尽くしてるでしょ。バーサーカーならキャスターとアーチャーが同時に攻めてきても追い返せる。私たちはその間にクズキ一人を攻略すればいい。
Archer's right about Caster's identity. I guess, yeah, Archer knows Caster's identity. Somehow she's related to Berserker or Hercules, I guess. I don't know.
そりゃ理想論だけど。トサカ、キャスターはバーサーカーと関係があるのか？
ええ、アーチャーが言ってたのよ。バーサーカーの正体はヘラクレスだって。キャスターが本当にあの希代の魔女なら、アルゴー戦つながりでバーサーカーとは面識があるかもしれない。
Argo Expedition.
私が綺麗に苦手意識を持つのと同じ。世の中にはね、どうしたって苦手なやつっているもんなのよ。
I don't think anyone gets along with Kirei, Rin. Okay, but I'm sure everyone would dislike that priest, yeah.
じゃあ決まりだな。けど、どうやってあの子を見つけようか。あれ以来出てこないけど、あれだけの魔力を持ってるなら隠れていようと見つけ出せるだろ。なのに見つからないってことは、この町にはいないってことじゃないのか。
でしょうね。イリアスフィールはずっと遠くから聖杯戦争を眺めて楽しんでるんでしょ。
ずっと遠く？キャスターみたいに竜道寺から町を監視してるのか？
さあ、けどどこにいるかは見当がつく。昔父さんから聞いたことがあるのよ。アインツベルンは郊外の森に別荘を持ってるって。
She just knows the location where Elia is. She says so with a tense voice. The villa inside the forest. Tosuka's expression tells me how dangerous the place is. I guess we're just gonna go, despite how dangerous it is. I go back to my room and lie down. Drowsiness fills my body as soon as I do. I stare at the dark ceiling. We're going to Ilya's hideout tomorrow. No matter what kind of negotiations take place, it's obvious that we'll need energy. Tosuka said we wouldn't get good results with tired bodies, so we decided to head out after we sleep.
夜明けまであと5時間。そうなったら、あの子と話し合いをしなくちゃならない。
The young master that appeared on the night I became a master. If Saber is a servant excellent in all aspects, Berserker is a servant specialized in battle. There's no servant that can match Berserker in simple combat.
そんな相手とどう話し合えばいい？
Obviously, you roar back to him, right? He goes like, roar, and then we go, roar, and then we can talk to each other in that language. Anyway, saying it makes me believe it's impossible to negotiate with them, but... Strangely, I don't feel any uneasiness. I think Ilya will understand us if we talk to her. Just like Tosuka, she will classify enemy and ally as a magus, but I think she's a proper girl with all that aside.
まったく、まだ話したこともないくせに、希望的観測にも程がある。
Yeah, you don't know all about the other time she's murdered you, or kidnapped you, or turned you into some weird doll thing, I think. I don't know. I bet he would scorn me, saying that it's a convenient fantasy. But what's wrong with believing? Believing in the me that believes in you. Is it wrong to have hope for someone you haven't met yet? I mean, I don't know, you haven't met them, so you don't know. I realize that I'm gritting my teeth. The man who told me to drown in my ideals and die betrayed Tosuka in front of me. A guy with that much trust and power switched his allegiance so easily. My mind darkens. No, it's freezing. My head cools down thinking about what he did. I'm angry. I can't forgive him for betraying Tosuka. I can't forgive the fact that he cast away his partner. I will swear here. Even if that may have been the very best action, even if it turns out that it was the right choice to survive, I will never do something like that. His actions have been getting on my nerves. He told me not to talk about ideals. I opposed him when he told me I cannot save everybody. But I agreed with his words somewhere inside of me. His words are correct. The superhero my father talked about is just a fantasy. And I accepted the fact that I would have to become like him to get as close to the ideal as possible. Not wanting to do so, I openly denied the ideal even though I accepted it in my mind. But this isn't on such a level. I can't approve of him. I can't approve of his action no matter what the circumstances may be. I won't be able to keep standing if I approve of him. My words do not disperse into the darkness, but stay in the room. A few hours until dawn. The third day. No, well. I keep repeating those words even in my sleep. It's not the third day, but... it's the third day until a big old moon with a face falls on top of us and kills everyone. But not really. Interlude. Okay, interlude, I assume, yeah, we're back with Caster. She is alone with her thoughts in the darkness. It's been a day since she attacked the church and killed the priest. It's been a day since she declared that she can find it, no matter where it may be hidden, even if it exists. It may not be the case for other servants, but there's no way someone versed in magic like her would not be able to find a relic as holy as the Holy Grail. Well, wasn't there that big quest about finding the Holy Grail and they didn't find it? There's only one answer. The Holy Grail was never hidden in this church to begin with. She sighs and puts her fingers on her temple. When she closes her eyes, heavy darkness assails her body. No, it is just a scream. is not coming from outside. The scream comes from her body and mind, telling her that her fatigue is at her limit. It's been a month since she was summoned. Since then, she has done her best to win. Her master is an ordinary person without a magic circuit. Okay, interesting. And she is the weakest of the servants. Well, her master is an ordinary person without a magic circuit. Well, I was gonna say similar to Shiro, but well, technically Shiro does have magic circuits. He's just very weak, relatively. So, actually, he's more akin to Shinji, Shinji Mato. But even less so, because Shinji, he knows about the world of magic and all of that. He just doesn't have the potential to cast spells or anything. Kuzuki's even less than that. Like, he doesn't have a magic circuit, and he's also just a normal person. I assume. That's what she's saying right here, an ordinary person. To make up for that, she abused forbidden magic. Collection from the people. The magical string she placed throughout the town, and the control of the ley line using sacrifices. These are all reasons why she was called a witch during her life. But she has never used them before. She should have never used them, and she did not intend to do the forbidden. So, why did she end up using them for a meaningless conflict like this? She became a heroic spirit to take revenge, but she also knows it is meaningless to use the skills that labeled her as a witch. She only uses trivial magic. She only created disasters that caused people to destroy themselves with their own greed. That was all the revenge she could manage, so what caused her to stray from her path so much?
すべては聖杯のため。あらゆる望みを叶える聖杯なのだから、気が違うのは当然です。
The almighty wish-granting device? That is a lie. She knows the true identity of the Holy Grail. Oh, she knows? Yeah, Kirei knows. Kotomine Kirei knows the true nature of the Holy Grail. Apparently Caster knows as well. She already knows what that thing is and why servants like her are summoned. It is true that most wishes can be granted using the Holy Grail that appears in this town. It will allow her to stay in this world with physical form, and it will allow her to start a second life as a human. Yeah. Similar to Gilgamesh. But...
そんなことに何の意味があるというの?
It seems even Castor sees past that. Saying so, she closes her eyes. She empties her mind. For now, she lets her guard down and rests her mind. She hears the sound of rain. It was a night without moonlight. The surroundings were pitch black, as she wandered with an empty mind. That is where she met him. With blood-stained body and frozen limbs. A chance meeting that was more miraculous than any miracle. Flashback? It was the mountain where the Ryudo Temple is located. Falling rain. She was stumbling aimlessly through the dense forest. She left behind a trail of blood. In her hand was a dagger that breaks all contracts. Her purple robe was wet with rain, and her limbs had turned white from the winter cold. She staggered around, holding onto the trees for support. She walked on, dirty with mud, her breath ragged, reaching out her hand as if begging for help. She did not look like her usual self, filled with cool composure. No, even the amount of magical energy was unlike her. She was exhausted. She only had a handful of power left. For a servant, magical energy is like a lifeline that allows him to stay in this world. But that was all lost. No magical energy was coming from her master. But that was only natural. She had just killed her own master. That was the cause of her exhaustion. She, servant Castor, was about to disappear alone as compensation for obtaining freedom. yeah, you do need a master to stay in this world, apparently. A dry laugh. It is funny that her body was not able to maintain itself, and that she betrayed her vulgar master. Moreover, it's quite amusing to see how badly she had underestimated the relationship between servant and master. She had done well. Her master was a legitimate magus. Okay, so yeah, it is a flash. I was wondering what she was talking about. But she's talking about legitimate magus. That means it wasn't Kuzuki. Kuzuki wasn't a magus. So I assume she was summoned by someone else. And she killed him. He was in his 30s, had a medium build, and had a few noteworthy characteristics. He had no will to fight, but dreamed of victory. He was a man that only waited for the other masters to kill each other. Reminds me of other certain coward. The man had not trusted the caster. He treated the caster coldly, as she was a superior magus, and he insulted her for being inferior to other servants. She gave up on him after a few days. She acted as an obedient servant and filled the man's conceit. In short, she made him use his command spells for meaningless things. She told him he did not need the command spells. She made him believe that she would be faithful to her master even without the command spell. It was his fault for believing in her. The master used his third command spell for a meaningless thing and was killed by caster at that moment. Oh yeah, we were told about that. You know, that you have to save your third command spell, because even if you use it, right after, if the servant is alive, they might just kill the master, and I guess that's what happened to caster. Well, the caster's master. It was easy. She did not like the fact that the contract with him still existed, so she killed him using the rule breaker. But she had made a mistake. Servants exist using the supply of magical energy provided by their masters. But not just magical energy. Servants are only allowed to exist in this age by being connected with people of this age. In other words, to lose one's master, the passport to this age. Oh, that's pretty interesting metaphor. A passport. To lose one's passport means being forced to return to the outside world. But she would not normally be this exhausted. This was the curse her master had left her. Her master did not approve of her, as she was a better magus than he was. Therefore, he limited her magical energy to be always below his level. The magical energy level of a mere human cannot keep a servant in this world. She would normally be able to stay in this world for 2 days after losing her master. But now was different. Her magical energy was drastically decreasing with every second, and the end was near. Probably a few more minutes. She would disappear if she could not find her next master in that time. She would disappear before she could fight, unable to do anything. She would be a pitiful servant, summoned only to be trampled upon. It was vexing. It was vexing, but it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. It had always been like this for her. She was treated unreasonably like this all the time. She was always used as a tool. She was never understood by anyone. Yes, her life was always controlled by someone else. Her mind was destroyed at a young age to save a hero chosen by the gods. Just for the sake of a hero, the goddess of beauty happened to favor. The goddess cursed her to blindly love a man she had never seen. The girl betrayed her father, and she was even forced to betray her own country. There is no memory after that. After everything was over, the girl, who was a princess, was in an unfamiliar country. A girl that betrayed her father, the king, for a man. A witch that cut apart her own brother and threw the pieces into the sea to escape her native country. And the man who wanted it done cast her aside in order to become king, saying he could not marry a witch. She was controlled and taken to an unknown country, was marked a witch, and the only person she could rely on threw her away. That is her origin. There's nothing people can blame her for, and people around her were aware of that. But still, people continue to demand for her to be a witch, an evil to protect the king, an evil to be on the receiving end of evil superstitions. People wanted a convenient scapegoat that they could blame for any disaster. This pattern has never changed. People demand easily understandable evil to reassure themselves of their own goodness. In that regard, she was the perfect sacrifice. The father she could rely on was in a distant country. Nobody defended her, and people gladly blamed her for all the ugly things in the world. I mean, yeah. I mean, isn't that like a classic myth, you know? An evil witch, gotta burn them at the stake? Though in a lot of modern stories, you know, it's often decided that the witch is actually the victim here, and it's the people that are, you know, evil for making her the scapegoat. They decided that every ugliness was the witch's doing, that they are poor, that they hate each other, that humans are ugly, and even that people die. So she merely accepted it. Since she could only live as a witch, she decided to live like a witch. Yeah, what's that called? I think there's a word for that. Something to do with prophecy. Or destiny? Prophecy? It's a saying. I can't remember what it was. I don't know. It's like, you know, it's like the way that everyone treats you as, you know. Everyone, like, for example, treats you like a criminal, for example, even if you aren't one. Eventually, it's often the case that you'll just become like a criminal because that's what everyone sees, right? Doesn't matter if you are one or you decide to be one later on, you'll just be treated as a criminal either way. I guess that's the equivalent of her being a witch, I assume, for Castor. She swore to show them the ugliness of the wishes they demanded of her. If people don't know their ugliness, so be it. They can stay ignorant, go to hell for their own crimes, and suffer forever. They won't be able to get out of hell. They will suffer forever as criminals because they don't know what crimes they have committed. That is the reason for existence she imposed on herself. That is the only role people gave to the girl, to the one called the witch, who had never had free will. But nobody actually wished for such a thing. The same goes for her as well. She seeks revenge against her will, without having any wish for herself. Yes, until she met up with this stranger. A rustling sound. She peered ahead, even though she was barely able to stand. It's midnight. Who could possibly come into this forest at this time? Kuzuki-sama? Or, well, she calls her Soichiro-sama, actually. It was a heavy voice. She did not have the composure to check who it was. She just thought it was all over. She had no power to use magic. Her purple robe might have looked like a coat, but she was covered in blood. A woman covered in blood was hiding in the rain. It is obvious what such a person did. Anyone would run away at first. What would they do after that? They would either call the police or pretend they hadn't seen it. It did not matter to her, as she could not move. That caused the last of her spirit to give out. And also, how did she know about the police? Didn't she come from a different era? You know, was there police during her time? I don't know. Actually, maybe I don't know if it's like, I don't know if it's a thing, but I think that when heroic spirits are summoned into this era, they do know some basic things actually. So maybe not. So there's no like real like culture shock, I think. Anyway. Her last moment was cold and lonely, just as it was at the end of her true lifetime. or so she thought. When she regained her consciousness, she was in that place. In front of her is that man, the man who she had met in the woods. Those were his first words. When she watched the man with blank amazement, the tone of his voice never changed. That was her first encounter with her master, Kuzuki Soichiro. Kuzuki was a strange man. Should he be called a ghost? He had no reason to live, but had no reason to die. He was just there, and since he existed, he followed whatever whim took him. He has no self. That was her first impression of him, and she thought it would be easy to turn him into a puppet. She grew to realize that the thought was a mistake. Kuzuki Soichiro does not have a past. He has no self because he has no past, but it does not mean Kuzuki Soichiro is empty. Kuzuki was a sincere man. He easily accepted her when she told him that she wanted him to be her master, and when she told him about her true identity. He accepted it after she told him it was the truth. She obtained a new master, was able to stay in this world, and returned to her role of being a witch. She still considers it to be a miracle. She would have disappeared before she woke up if she wasn't taken to the Ryudo Temple. The Ryudo Temple is a demonic place for servants, but it is a perfect summoning place once inside. As the Ryudo Temple is surrounded by a boundary field, it is suited for keeping anything inhuman. She was able to remain without disappearing because she was brought to the Ryudo Temple. Had it been any place else, she would have vanished after being taken here. Hey, what's up, sweet tea? You're the belt of my sword? Yeah, that's the beginning of the Unlimited Blade Works, I guess poem thing. It's pretty famous. Anyway, right now we're in the flashback of Castor, apparently. As a result, she obtained the best ley line and the best protection. She easily occupied Ryudo Temple, figured out the mechanism of the Holy Grail, and summoned Assassin as the fifth servant. But such things are trivial matters. She was certainly lucky on that night. Yeah, I assume so. She was about to die, but somehow she survived. Many miracles saved her, and she is now on the verge of victory. Sip that tea, sweet tea. And be careful with spoilers. I don't know. I'm trying not to spoil everything from the beginning. That's what I'm trying to do. Just experience the visual novel. As it goes on. I think that's the best way to experience it. Anyway. Many miracles saved her, and she is now on the verge of victory. But they do not deserve thanks. She would have been fine with it even if those miracles had not occurred. There's only one important fact. Yeah, you're free to watch the stream, sweet tea. A very small matter that is trivial for anyone else. For her, the fact that she was able to meet Kuzuki Soichiro is a miracle beyond belief. I guess the whole flashback was a little bit of, a little bit of sympathy, I guess, for the villain. For her own deal and whatnot. But it's not going well. No, she feels that everything she does is not going well. Her master would not be delighted with what she did. He has never had any interest in the Holy Grail. She would do her best to grant any wish of his, but Kuzuki Soichiro has none. A one-sided relationship. They do not get along well. It is not going well at all.
Oh,
is that you, assassin? She turns to the intruder. It is not her master that is standing there. is the knight in red, Archer, whose true identity is still unknown. Oh no, it's not. It's not. It's not assassin, but it's Archer. I guess I just assume it's assassin because that's usually who talks to her. But it's the other cynical bastard, Archer.
アーチャー、あなたには外の見張りを任せたはずですが。
ああ、それがな、ざっと見たところ、周囲に敵という敵がいない。
それはそうでしょうね。私たちの敵はバーサーカーだけよ。それもセイバーさえ陥落すれば、こちらから撃って出るだけ。あなたが私たちに寝返った時点で、もう敵なんていないのよ。あなたもそれが分かっていたからこそ、こちらに着いたのではなくて。
さて、どうかな。私はあのマスターと契約を切りたかっただけとは思わないか。あのマスター以外なら契約者は誰でもよかったと。
There's some truth in Archer's words. But what does it mean? Yeah, you're being vague as usual, Archer. Archer had no intention of betraying, but betrayed his master only because he wanted to break his contract with Tosaka Rin.
そう。小娘のおもりはごめんということ。確かに私たちサーバントは総じてマスターに不満を持つわ。あなたが愛想を尽かすのも当然でしょうね。
いや、召喚者として彼女は完璧だった。ただ、少しばかり狂いが生じただけだ。それとキャスター、一つ忠告しよう。あらゆるサーバントが君と同じだとは思わないことだ。少なくとも、セイバーとバーサーカーは、主に不満を抱いてはいなかった。正しい英雄というものはね、正しい人間にしか刺激できないものなんだ。
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's like considering Saber, like she would not betray Shiro out of her own free will. The only way she would was, well, with Caster's rule breaker, I guess. If the servant and master to get along, then betrayal is very unlikely. But in Archer's case, I guess he didn't get along with Rin. I don't know. They seem to get along.
何を今さら。ねじ曲がったマスターだからこそ、ねじ曲がった英霊を呼ぶ。そのようなこと、あなたに言われるまでもないわ。
That is right. Servants are determined by their summoners. Summoners with dark shadows in their mind cannot summon heroic spirits who are on the light side. I mean, yeah, maybe. And maybe that's a factor in all this. That the masters, they summon certain servants that fit their personality. I mean, that would fit for Shiro, summoning Saber. But if Rin summons Archer, and Rin's pretty honorable though. She wouldn't betray anyone, would she? Oh, Shiro cooks good? Sweet tea? Well, I mean, yes. I don't know if that's relevant to what's going on right now, but yes, he does cook good food. Well, actually, maybe that's why Saber's around. You see, Saber isn't around, or she doesn't betray Shiro out of her own free will, not because she has, like, chivalry or that she's a good person, but rather she just really likes Shiro's food. Maybe that's why. That's the key. In that regard, she and Ryder are not heroic spirits. A twisted master calls for twisted heroic spirits. As Ryder was one that was beautiful, she was also one that was pure. It is ironic how the servant Caster summoned is a fictional hero.
しかし、考えてみればおかしな話だな。君やライダーは英霊に敵対するものだろう。にもかかわらず、サーバントとして選ばれている。まあ、聖杯には善悪の区別はない。力のある人間霊なら、誰であろうと組み上げるということか。
Yeah, that's what I mentioned before. You know, usually they summon heroes, right? You think heroes are good guys, but apparently not. Just summons anyone?
いいえ。本来そんな英霊としての側面もあるものなんて混ざり物は選ばれない。この戦いがおかしくなったのは3度目からよ。それまでは私やライダーのような英霊は呼ばれなかった。
Some lore. Apparently Caster knows this. It wasn't always this way, apparently. I guess, yeah, Caster knows a lot for some reason. I guess she's just very smart, you know, considering like she's a very powerful magus. Well, that does not concern her now. She's not concerned about the true identity of the Holy Grail. I guess that's not important to her. Servant's Caster's mission is to win this war. She's not interested in what comes after. No, to be honest, that is not the end she wishes for.
無駄話はここまでよ、アーチャー。持ち場に戻りなさい。あなたが何を考えているかはどうでもいいわ。あなたはすでに私のサーバント。その命は私の手の中にある。それを肝に銘じて口を聞きなさい。
You wish you could play Fate Grand Order was not supported on your Galaxy Note 9? Well, that's unfortunate. You know, I do want to stream Fate Grand Order eventually, but I don't know. Like, I don't know how is the thing. Or at least I do know how. There's actually one way to do it, you know, without any, like, you know, extra stuff. You don't have to buy, like, a cable or anything. You can download an app, I think. And then you could simply just stream directly, like, to the computer, I think. But it costs money, though, so I don't want to do that. I'd rather just, well, I don't know. I guess either way would cost money. I would need like some sort of like, I think it's like a capture card of some sort. That would be the best. Because otherwise there's actually another way, like an even other way, that's free, but it doesn't really capture correctly. Or at least the way I want, right? Because I want to keep this microphone, I want the Blue Yeti basically. But the free way to stream directly from the iPad or whatever, iPod's like really old. I have iPad. It would just pick up the microphone natively on the iPad, which is like bad because it's just a really like low quality mic. So I don't know. Maybe eventually, I don't know. Oh yeah, well there's an emulator as well, right? But I don't want to do it from the emulator. I want to just have it there because otherwise, I don't know how it would work because. Usually in most mobile games, your like save data, I guess, is like on the device, and I kind of don't want to like deal with moving stuff around all the time because I want to keep it just on my device rather than on an emulator. And sometimes I think the emulator doesn't work. I don't know. Anyway, getting off track a little.
では、従順なサーバントらしく、主の期待に応えるとしよう。
The knight in red goes up the stairs and contemplates about downloading Fate Grand Order. Anyway, seeing him off silently, Caster lets out a long sigh. One more day until Saber surrenders. She does not have the Holy Grail yet, but she will approach the end once Saber falls. What will happen when the war ends? Caster will make every wish come true with her powers. Now you gotta go, sweetie? Alright, see ya. Gotta go. It's not bad to live as a witch, like she swore before dying. But the reason will go away once the war ends. Even if she still has the will, her master will lose the reason to stay as her master. Caster gracefully reaches out into empty space. Her hard work is about to be rewarded, but her expression is like that of a criminal about to be executed. I still don't really understand Caster's deal. Why does she want the Holy Grail? Well, for now, we're in a burning landscape and we're seeing many corpses. Once again, I think I know where we are.